Not funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Hobbyist Podcast, episode 5.
Yeah!
You know, we're going to be talking some political shit.
Oh,
Maybe
some provocative
that thing
shit.
Trump did, dude.
Most of all, though, we're going to be talking some informative shit.
Oh, yeah.
So let those earbuds burrow into those ears.
Oh. Or headset caress
Let those speakers engulf your face.
Put us on like an ASMR channel.
As we enter into the Hobbyist Podcast. Sit down and fasten those seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, because we're live.
Episode 5.
Here we go.
Making it big, baby.
All right. So I've just had this question that's really been eating me up inside, and I don't know. It's been getting to me, so. Oh.
Right into it, man.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we got the general people. Fuck. We got a little correction here. First off, we got the general boys are here. We got Coleman.
Woo!
Omar.
Yeah, that's me, bro.
Andrew Finley.
I'm here.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
P. Finn on the track. And we got a little special guest.
Hey.
Demon. Uncle D. Danny.
Yeah.
And
Big D sometimes.
all Big D.
Most of the
D.
time
Big
it's
D.
Lord of the D.
Big D in the sheets.
Yeah, so D-Man, tell us a little about yourself. What do you prefer to do on a Friday night when things are winding down? You've already, beat it a couple times. And,
Every time I come home from school.
And you're just relaxing.
Classic.
What's your relaxing state that you enter into?
I don't know, get on my computer, hang out with the boys on the internet.
Get on that Discord tribalism.
Yeah.
One of
Internet
the internet
boys.
surfers I hear so much about.
Yeah. Cool, so fuck that. We're done with that.
Yeah, you suck.
Okay, go
Back
back
to
your
the main point.
introduction.
I've had this one question that's just been eating me up inside. Really, really running me rampant. I can't get it off my chest.
What is it, Paul?
So cigarettes took a major turn at one point. They took a major turn where everyone is like, "Fuck that! Can't get with that. We gotta get the kids off cigarettes. They're killing themselves."
P. Finn, well-known cigarette expert.
Yeah, dude, I'm a nicotine fanatic.
Oh, yeah.
PhD in the Nickies.
The Nicky.
That's
So I was just wondering, what do you guys think the next cigarette's going to be? I know people are like, ooh, sitting's the new cigarette, like you're fucking up your back, but people are going to sit. Get over it. It's just going to happen. There's no way you can stop that. So I was just thinking, like, what's your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, the next just bad thing
that society's going to be... Yeah, exactly. That society's just going to be like, nah.
Is it specifically bad for you, like cigarettes? Yeah, that's bad for you. No one's arguing that. And society says,
It could be
fuck
bad,
that.
like ethical.
Or is it just something
That's
that
true.
society says, fuck you can't do that without any, evidence for it? Is it either or? Or is it one or the other?
I think it's either, bad health, physically bad for you, or ethically bad for you.
Okay,
Would count.
so it has to be bad for you.
assuming.
Jesus.
Oh!
Okay.
Wait, what do you
Another libtard moan! Style!
I didn't know Ben Shapiro was on this podcast.
Best appearance.
Get out of here, Shapiro.
What's your favorite Shapirism?
The one where he destroyed those libtards or whatever.
You owned the libtards.
Those snowflakes.
Stupid feminist libtard gets wrecked.
Compilation. 10-hour edition.
Style.
YouTube poop.
Yeah, I don't know. My only answer to this was I definitely heard people besides evangelical Christian people, you know what I mean, or any sect, religion, whatever. Shit on porn is it's fucking bad for society as a whole. They're they're biologists that
dehumanizes women and stuff.
Well, not even that.
Like
it just it programs you to think that's
porn.
how things work.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like that's like sex ed. Modern
yeah,
sex ed is porn.
Yeah.
Penis goes in the vagina. Right?
I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah, but
I agree with
But
that.
it's not
then
like
you
the
also
pizza
get-
man's gonna
Yeah.
frickin' zip down his pants.
Exactly.
Without his 12-inch dong.
And you open up the pizza, it's actually his dick. Just
Anybody order extra sausage?
Yeah, it's not like that. Kids out there, we're just trying to warn you of the pitfalls of sex.
I was trying to become a plumber for that one reason. Oh man.
Yeah, you don't goof, Nick.
Now the only thing you can look up to in your plumber life is Mario.
Well, it's also
the only ass you're
like
gonna get is your own.
that. I don't know. You see some crazy stuff on porn websites too, like
Omar's just out there. It's like, this is crazy. You look at a search bar, midget trans, fucked to death. This is insane. These are kids are looking at this crap.
black milf anal prolapse.
I saw horrible stuff. It was like we tied her down so she couldn't run away as we fucked her.
Wow, that's horrible.
Jesus, Danny.
What are you looking at?
You're not even 18. You just look at porn.
That's
You maybe don't say that.
It's Asian.
Japanese.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ecchi manga, please.
Yeah, you guys, any thoughts on that? Really? I mean,
I can see the push happening.
It's only if you're.
I don't think it'll get any traction.
no,
I don't
I
think
agree
it'll-
with
I don't
that.
think
I
that would
feel-
get any
I
traction
feel
either.
No,
like
I agree with that.
it's so deep in our society at this point where it's a thing everybody does. Well, not everybody. A lot of people.
A lot of guys.
Guys usually. 'cause
Guys usually.
You know a lot of girls who don't.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But it's going to be something where it's already so ingrained in our... Maybe it's like cigarettes, where cigarettes were really big in our society, but like right now it's so big in our society, and I think our society's moving more towards that it's okay, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I
would
I
agree with
actually
that.
rather than the
Yeah.
other direction.
That's true.
It's
But
just
it
a
could
little.
change. Like, me and Cole have a good story about this, actually.
Some like
Wait,
crazy
what?
moral.
You guys were watching porn together,
we
your
were
dad comes
driving
in?
down here. We were driving down here, and one of the signs that shows all the strip clubs, right? It says Diamonds Cabaret, and then it says like Cheeks Gentlemen's Club, and then the next one, someone said rented part of the sign. It said porn equals sin, sin equals death, Jesus equals life. Don't watch porn.
And you were instantly just...
Instantly, no more porn.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
No more. No more. No more.
I feel like the only way that it would be like cigarettes is if someone's just like, some biologist is like, porn is lowering our sex drive to the point where we're not having kids anymore and humans are actually dying, so we need to
But-
stop.
Here's the
I
thing.
actually, well,
People like to fucking complain about overpopulation. I'm not getting into that.
I hear that complaint all
Yeah,
the
that is
time.
But if
Libtards.
that's a thing, that might be a good thing for a lot of people, so you don't know.
Overpopulation.
No, it's definitely not a good.
lowering the sex drive, so overpopulation would stop. People might argue that it's
But
a
in
good
like
thing.
places like Japan, the birth rate is lower than the death rate, so they're losing population.
Yeah.
It's a crisis because they don't have enough people to take the job.
Get those people off the hentai. It's lowering their sex
That
drive.
actually is what they
It
found.
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's change the topic.
Well,
Like,
well,
need-
well,
Hey,
I
actually,
got
problem.
a
Well,
good
what I was
answer to
saying
this,
is
I
like,
think.
you guys have any other answers of what the modern
Yeah.
It won't happen instantly, but I think this may happen once self-driving cars are out. I think driving your own car might become the new cigarette.
That's
That's
actually
way more
that might be-
dangerous, way
yeah,
more likely
that's
to
a good
kill
one.
people.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, I love the freedom of it, and
I love-
everyone that's all about the
Yeah.
safety will just be like,
Yeah.
well, fuck you, like
taking
you
my
could
muscle
kill
car
someone.
out, you know? Like,
yeah.
I read a paper
I could see that being
that
like,
people
That's a
something
good
socially
point.
unacceptable.
that people found on like all the crashes for self-driving cars. Like none of them were caused by the self-driving car. It was always like a rear end or something. Because they're so safe. They're too safe that human drivers can't predict what they're doing. Because they won't go through like green lights unless it's clear very far and stuff.
Yeah.
So they expect it to go and then they hit the car.
That's super fucking interesting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so
And
it's like it's almost too safe to drive
Yeah.
with people
And that's
because they're
like,
not
I'm
safe.
pretty
enough.
sure there's been some
well,
self-driving
Maybe,
car
like,
fuck ups
earlier.
on their own at this point.
I'm
I think
sure.
it took
They
a
said like in
while.
the past 3 years, none have
but
been.
Elon Musk actually talks about this on that Joe Rogan podcast where he says that
Shh, that's competition, man.
motherfuck.
Unnamed podcast.
On that one podcast Elon Musk was on and smoked weed,
Hey, what's your favorite Roganism, Paul?
but he talks about how like Tesla has the tests that the governments do for like safety in cars. It has the highest success in any of those tests ever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
like
Yeah.
computers will recreate without fail what you program to do.
Yeah.
and if it's right, as long as the module's not damaged or anything, you're fine.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like once self-driving cars are like a big thing where the majority of people are using self-driving cars, I feel like the government's gonna like create some kind of like hive mind for their cars. So like they're all running on the same like network or whatever. So they'll never hit each other because they're always like connected.
Yeah.
And then like that one person who's driving who's not connected to hive mind is the one person that has the chance of like actually hitting a person. So I feel like
Fucking hive mind.
They might make it
could-
illegal or something.
I could definitely see that becoming the next cigarette.
Yeah,
quote
that's
unquote.
true. Where
Yeah, but
everyone's just shaming so hard that like no more.
Do you think it would be like playing records?
What?
Records?
Oh,
is
yeah.
In
Like
what
it-
way?
it's
Oh, I mean, I
like-
can tell you that I
eventually people will be like,
personally-
"Oh, well, that's a classic," or something.
Oh,
Yeah, they go
it
back
could
to
be
that.
like a kind of like collectible.
I mean, yeah,
thing,
I'll say I
novelty.
personally have no issue like driving. I actually enjoy it
Yeah.
quite a bit. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
same.
want
I think
Yeah.
a
self-driving
lot
car.
It's
a lot
calming.
of at least U.S. citizens that I know enjoy driving, and I'm sure
Yeah.
other countries' citizens do as well.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, I'm a hit or miss with driving. I just don't like doing it when I'm tired.
That's true, but think about like you could get a lot of shit done if you never had to drive.
Yo, you
Yeah.
could
Oh, yeah,
sleep on your
yeah.
way to work or something.
Yeah.
and
So
then-
many Switch games.
Yeah, so many
so
switching,
many switch.
so many emails being sent.
Oh yeah, emails too.
Definitely.
I mean, there's a ton of fucking shit you could do with that.
Yeah, and that actually is.
Yeah.
And then if they're all electric, you can maybe find a way so they never really have to recharge ever, and you could like drive across the country, and you
Yeah.
have like a motor home.
Yeah.
It is a personal home that just moves around.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
stuff like
just
this.
we're all nomadic and
And
nomadic.
you like do your
urban.
work
Oh,
and
the nomadic
Trailer
United
park.
States. Everyone just moves around all the time.
It's a herd of people in cars driving by.
caravans.
It's just dust over the horizon, and a bunch of cars are just driving by.
Yeah, like Burning Man turns into, instead of like we all go to this one location in like the Nevada desert, it's just all right, cross country Burning Man road trip. Everyone in our just huge
Here we go.
horde going coast to coast.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
that raises another question. Would you fuel your own car, or would it do it for you?
it depends. Like
It would do it for you, dude.
But would
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
No,
It
well,
depends on how
don't.
much.
I don't know shit about cars, so I'm staying out of this.
Well, it
conversation.
depends, like
Wait,
what the fuel source is. If we invent fusion reactors,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
totally.
yeah,
Let's just
definitely.
invent
but
those
then
fusion
if we,
reactors.
if electric cars are still expensive, but self-driving cars becomes like commonplace, I'm sure they'd still have like gasoline-driven cars. And who's paying for that? The government? No, you are.
Yes, but what I was asking is, would you step out of your car and put the pump into the tank, or would the car do
Hell
some
no.
mechanic shit to
Hell no.
just fuse with the
Think
pump?
Think about this.
They already have that.
a big ass magnet on your car. Drive up. Just sucks up the little fuel thingy, sticks it in your car automatically.
Yeah.
Easy.
Or yeah.
Easy life, easy.
Why don't we
living.
do that now?
I mean-
Fuck that.
then-
I don't want to have to get out of my
I-
car ever
yeah.
again.
I already saw on Reddit like there's a video of like a robot that fueled Tesla cars, and it could locate where the gas like place was, and it moved itself and like put it in it itself. So they already have it. So I feel like it's gonna become a commonplace
Are you
thing.
suggesting that we'll have self-driving fuel trucks that just pull up next to you while you're driving?
They do
like
that
when
for
planes
airplanes,
refuel.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just like fill your car up while you're driving. Never have to stop.
Holy
Or we
shit.
create some kind of like electric road that your tires just like pull electricity out of the road.
No, that's actually been theorized.
Yeah,
and
that would be
stuff.
Well, yeah,
Then-
there's the roads that actually like heat the road, so fucking
snow.
forget snow days
Yeah.
because they're all electric.
Yeah.
And when there's some construction going on and they have to redirect cars, it's just like, program that into the road, change the lights, and bam, bada bing, bada boom,
Yeah.
it's obsolete.
But
I mean,
that would.
If everyone has self-driving cars, they just get rid of stoplights entirely. Cars just perfectly know. They're all just flying by
Dude,
each other.
hive mind cars, got to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mind
that's a
is the
lot of
future.
processing
That's where
power,
the
though.
human input
Yeah.
fucks that up really hard.
Yeah.
That intersection
But
between
here's
that.
going back to the road you were talking about melting snow and stuff.
Yeah.
If we did the electricity thing with the roads, I don't think that would ever become a thing because it would cost billions, probably even more. Just a shit ton of money that I don't even know the number for to replace every single fucking road in this country
Yeah.
with those kind of roads. No way are we doing that.
You're thinking small though, man.
No, I don't think you like. If it becomes cheap enough to like find a conductor and a way to do it in a car, they'll probably put it in roads and then.
In the newer roads they make, maybe, but
It's
they
not
won't
like
tear
the
up
federal
old roads just to
government
do it.
doing it. It would be like cities, like, oh, I want this, so people move to my city, so they would do it.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
fair, yeah.
Local
It's not
government.
Also, you're paying for it by taxes almost always.
Yeah, I mean the whole government essentially is
Yeah.
tax based, right?
and then
Well, it is.
Yeah, fair.
and then if it got to the point where, like, we're like, oh shit, we don't have any gas left, the government is gonna like, they'll be like, well, we have to do this now,
Yeah.
and then like it saves them money it ends up saving them money in the long run because like
Yeah.
there's no more gasoline that we have to waste on regular people's cars and we can use it for other stuff that's like way more important.
Yeah.
Because we're just using
Spaceships.
solar power or whatever to
Yeah.
power all our cars now.
Yeah, fuck.
Dude.
That's space shit.
Oh, for taboo, since we're kind of on like
Taboo rant, what we think's wrong.
well, what society thinks is wrong. I think it's more of just a misconception or something, but like nuclear power.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like
It's-
society,
That's
like-
like been a thing for a while.
it's been a thing, but people are like stopping it because they're afraid of nuclear meltdowns and stuff. But like it's the
Almost
cleanest,
justified though.
but it's the
Yeah.
cleanest form of energy we have.
Yeah,
we
no,
get the most out of it.
no
too.
one's
If we
saying-
get the most, yeah. and
I don't think anyone's denying that. It is probably true that a lot of people still believe that, that it's purely
Yeah.
evil and used to
No,
kill
but, like-
millions. But I think it's the fear. It's a huge
that-
fear stigma.
Yeah,
Simpsons
but-
episode.
Yeah.
The
But,
Treehouse
like-
of Horror.
You can die from an electrical surge, like if you're near an outlet, it could spark onto like your keys or something,
Yeah, no,
and stuff
yeah.
like, or appliances will be highly electricized because of some power surge,
Yeah,
and then you can touch it, and then coal just fucks
Yeah,
up
but
the
the difference-
atmosphere, and we care about that and stuff
Yeah.
too.
The difference is that if you touch a supercharged electric appliance, you die. Whereas if a nuclear powered plant melts down, the whole town dies.
And
Like,
That's a
probably
pretty big
creates
difference.
a
What?
wasteland.
I mean, there hasn't really been any real instances of that except for Chernobyl, where
And that
they
was-
refused.
Which was a very real incident.
But they
Russia
refused to upgrade their nuclear power plant. It was like a Gen 2 power plant in a Gen 6 world. And so that's why.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
3 Mile Island, no casualties, and they contained the breach. Nothing
Yeah.
happened.
no, that's true. But
No lasting
I
environmental
don't even
impact.
think it's that. Like, probably most of the world doesn't understand Chernobyl to that extent. Have nuclear bombs to like go back on when they think of nuclear.
Yeah,
power.
nuclear
Yeah.
bombs kind of makes it like, oh, nuclear power's crazy.
It just paints anything nuclear in like a bad light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
for
does
sure,
happen.
for sure.
And that it also happens with like fusion too, because fusion bombs are way stronger and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it's dangerous to have the mentality where no matter how safe it really is to be like, oh, nuclear power is like is fine. We can just do whatever. Because if it does end up, we figure out that we fucked up really hard and now our planet's screwed. If we try to expedite the process too much, there's a lot of more room for error when we're doing it a lot safer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's like the safest form of energy.
So I
too,
feel like
think.
the slow movement of nuclear power isn't necessarily a bad thing because it creates a much safer environment for
That's
us.
true.
Well,
But there's just been like rollbacks in the U.S. and
Yeah,
stuff.
because nuclear power is not something you just want to go all willy nilly with and end up just fucking over.
I'll
your
take
planet.
these two atoms, smash
Yeah,
them
let's just
together.
rip this atom apart real quick and see what happens.
Yeah.
I hate to be this guy that says this, but it's nuclear, not nuclear. You fuckers have been saying it wrong, except for Nick.
My name is
congrats.
Coley, and I'm really good at speaking
I'm
English.
educating the general populace.
How grammar.
So video games, right, guys?
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of nukes,
Do we want
Metal
to get back to
Gear.
the secret question?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Nah,
so-
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Let's move from this.
That's a good
bullshit.
segue into Factorio nuclear power.
Hit us with it.
Or Metal
baby.
Gear.
Hit us with that Factorio.
So
shit.
Factorio is a preface. It's the second highest rated game on Steam.
Well, what is? What?
Well,
like,
I'm
genre
just
is
saying
it?
it's a kind of like a city management survival game where you crash land on a planet and you and up to I think 18 people in the
So
server.
it's multiplayer.
Yeah, multiplayer.
Alright, badass.
Go around building a factory where you automate the parts to build like weapons and ammo and stuff. And it sounds kind of like dumb, factory management and stuff, but it's crazy fun. You just go around.
Is it competitive?
No, it's
Or,
co-op.
so you guys are all on a
and you're
team?
fighting
Okay.
against these like bugs that come and attack you and stuff. And you could build turrets or you could build nukes. You can have nuclear power. You can go solar. You can go steam engines.
Damn.
You
Blast
can
from the past.
you can build robots that pick up things and fly around the map and put them places.
And it's all just you and 18 other
Yeah.
or 17 other people trying to survive.
Well, I play with my roommate Alex, and we do LAN. And-
Okay.
Yeah. So you can play single player. You can play with as many people as you want. I forget the number. It's some big number.
Yeah.
But
It's huge.
the game is like essentially there's ores on the map. You mine the ores, you smelt them into plates, and then you use those plates to make like gears or copper wire, and then you combine those to make inserters, which are like robot arms that pick up stuff and move it. Then you build assembly machines, which will assemble things for you instead of you crafting them. And then you can make those assembly machines assemble science packs, which you use to research more things you can build. And then you eventually build higher tier science packs, and the goal of the game is to launch a rocket into space, and then you can keep playing after that.
But that's how you win, is get off Earth.
Yeah.
No, get off the planet you crash land on.
So this
Okay.
game is just like Elon Musk simulator. Yeah. You just have $1 billion.
Yeah.
You gotta get to space.
But like, there's a great thing. There's like a fun rail system where you have a train. It just goes around. It'll kill you if it hits you and shit, and it'll run over stuff. And you can make train signals and stuff.
You said that you like got attacked and you had to fend it
Yeah.
off. Is there any sort of like is that all automated or are you taking
No, you
part
can
in the
hold.
combat?
You can build guns for yourself. Like there's combat shotgun, rocket launcher.
Do you play out combat or is it all just like your
No, you
turrets
move
do it?
around. It's real time, and you push one button to shoot, and you can free shoot with a different button, and you can shoot your own stuff or your teammates and stuff. There's friendly fire. And you can build like power armor, which increases your inventory size. It has a little modular board where you can install fusion reactors and like night vision goggles.
So are you controlling
What the fuck?
one
One
individual guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
dope.
just like you.
You build a factory and you're managing a factory
Yeah, okay.
with you and your
Okay.
friends.
I was with Nick where I totally thought this was
Yeah.
an RTS-esque type
Yeah.
thing. But
No,
it
it's
turns
one.
out you're a single user.
Yeah, it's survival and it's super fun. Like
That's interesting.
I was playing it and I was like, Alex, what time is it? And we started at like 5. I checked the time. 12 midnight. And I was like, I literally thought 2 hours passed. And he was
Yeah.
like, me too, dog. And it was crazy.
It sucks you
It
in.
sucks it in, and it's a great like just game like Minecraft. You throw on some music, and it kind of blends in the background. And you're like, oh, I'll listen to it now and stuff. So like King Gizzard and stuff, great song. Passively listen to stuff
Yeah, it's
without
not-
actively.
Yeah, you
having
don't
it.
have to be fully engaged. And
Yeah,
Well,
you could build tanks, nukes, nuclear reactors. It's really
That sounds
cool.
Super dope.
Yeah, it sounds interesting and in depth, kind of
Yeah.
like another game.
Wait, Cole wanted to
I've been
ask
playing
something?
a bit
Oh,
through
yeah.
that. Then I think most of the people on this cast have been playing as well.
Yeah.
Being Stellaris. We talked about it before, but not all of us were Virgies
Yeah.
and hadn't really gotten our Stellaris first fuck. So
Yeah.
after that first fuck, I guess we can kind of talk about that for a bit.
That's like a first blow job at most.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can still say
Blue-balled.
I
Yeah.
barely have my head around that game.
Yeah.
We've
so.
been blue balled.
But like, what are your impressions of the game?
I will say, the race building alone is super interesting
Yeah.
because for like Nick created his race before, and he literally tried to make Nazis. He wanted to be
The Fourth Reich.
their name's the Fourth Reich, and they are just space Nazis. And knowing that going into it, I was like, man, I kind of want to make hippies. And so my guys are like agricultural, all democratic, and they just have power over the government and such, and they're peaceful in their tendencies, I guess. I think that's the word they use.
peaceful. It's their ethics.
Their ethics are peaceful and whatnot. So it's super
spiritualist, I
interesting.
think,
Yeah, spiritualist.
The game is super in depth.
Yeah, and that's just pregame shit. Like
That's
that's
pregame.
and that is not any gameplay whatsoever.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I did the exact same thing as Paul. I basically just recreated the U.S. where we have my guys' ideologies. We just try to push them on everyone, but we're super democratic. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the gameplay is interesting.
Yeah,
as
it really
fuck. You start out with like two basic units that can either
Civilian
search
units.
and quote unquote survey other systems, other solar systems that have planets and such. So you send these guys out and they just search, and when they find anomalies, as they call them, you can like investigate them, and you're like, oh my god, I found a new race. They're AI based and they fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And then you have your options to choose what you do within that. And then there's also just another classic like builder, I want to say,
Construction
Yeah.
What
ship
is-
is what it's called.
Yeah, and that's pretty much as far as we've got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like, despite the fact that it's an RTS, it almost plays more like a board game in terms
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
like
it really
how
does.
long the game takes. Omar told me that like games could be up to like 200 hours.
Yeah,
Like, that's fucking insane. That's
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I mean,
that's
they're trying to get away from that, and they're doing an update where they're reworking like how planets work to make it easier instead of less complicated, like up front, so you
I
can
like
be
that.
competent quicker, but it still is very intricate if you want to like min max everything and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Do you think that's gonna piss off a lot of people that have been playing it for a long time?
No, I for one like the change because it makes it easier. Because the old system was very micro heavy, and I didn't really want to make my planets as good as possible later in the game because it was just so much work. Because I had battles going on, and like I had to do diplomacy and stuff, and it's just very
yeah, so as someone who's only played like a couple hours of the game, who's never actually really gotten super deep into the game, what happens once you have like hundreds of planets? Because like it's enough work just micromanaging like
the
your
game
one
becomes there's sectors where you control the main sector. Then all your other sectors will be AI controlled, and they give you taxes, and you can tax them higher or less.
So you don't
You can-
necessarily.
And you could tell them be militaristic, be industrial, be agrarian, And then you can also like transfer funds and make them less happy, And
so you don't actually have like direct control over most of your empire. You're just
your fleets, you do.
you just kind of generally guide it like an actual government, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
or like closer to an actual.
well, you
government.
have direct control of your military, essentially,
Okay.
and
then-
like they can't declare wars or anything like that. So if you declare war, then they will gear up for war and fight with you and stuff like that.
And then, does your type of government affect how much control you have over certain aspects? Like Paul's
Yes.
race is all super democratic, where mine is like there's a dictator that controls everything.
It's more
does
of
that
this.
change?
If you're peaceful, you have more direct control over your the game. It says your main sector is larger. You can have more planets in it, so you have direct control over it. And it's basically because peaceful people develop their time into building a better bureaucracy and utopia for people. And then the militarists, which is what Nick is,
Space
fighting and stuff like that. But like the game is really good, and there's some great guides out there if you guys listening want to like check it out. Like Republic of Play, I sent it to all of them. I don't think any of them watched it yet, but yeah,
it's a good 45-minute video.
Yeah, I haven't cut out the time to watch it yet.
Yeah.
But it's good. It explains every system of the game and stuff.
Yeah.
So speaking of, well, do you have anything else to say?
No, I was just gonna say like if anyone's got any other
speaking of
gamers,
in-depth strategy games, not nearly as complex as Stellaris, but I just recently acquired it before last podcast and had barely played it. A lot more experience now. Civilization 6.
Oh, I love that game.
I've been playing a lot of it lately.
Really?
Yeah.
damn,
And that like really is a board game.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I fucking love it, man. It's super fun. The game lets you pick like map size, obviously, but then it also picks how like long you want the game to be.
Yeah.
Like so there's like standard game, and then there's like an epic game or like a quick game. I'm doing a marathon game, which is the longest. So every action in the game takes 200% longer than it does in a standard game.
Why would you do that? That doesn't
No,
sound
there's a
fun.
reason that you do that. Is because it extends. Civilization is sort of like Age of Empires, where you age up, but you go from like ancient age all the way up to like the future.
Yeah.
And by doing marathon, and every civilization in the game also really focuses on certain eras of their history. So if you play Rome, for instance, you're really strong in the ancient era when you have centurions and catapults.
Same
and
with
stuff.
the Greek.
Or whereas like if you're America, you're really good in like the modern era when you have drones and shit.
They have people,
and so playing on marathon mode essentially makes every era of the game 200% longer.
Yeah.
So you get to basically
that
experience each era a lot more.
Yeah.
How far are you in it?
I am I'm like in between because there's not like an age up thing. It's just kind of
It's tech.
the tech tree just says like this tech is this era tech or
and
this
when you
era
research
tech.
it,
And
you get
if you get a single tech of a new era, it says you're in that era, but
and
you're
your
not
buildings
necessarily.
change kind of and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm the Japanese in my game. So
Couldn't
I'm
you-
really strong in the medieval era.
Yes,
or
I was
era,
gonna
which is what I'm in right now.
Actually,
so I am just pumping the fuck out of samurai right now. They're so strong. Samurai are
good.
so good. And it's hilarious because I was super peaceful up until I got samurai. And as soon as I got samurai, I just started attacking everyone around
Yeah,
me.
samurai are good.
And like the way
Murder,
politics
murder.
work in that game is like pretty much every nation on the map just fucking hates me now. They think I'm a warmonger because I just like declared war against people for no reason. And
Are they wrong though?
yeah,
the very first city I captured, Cincinnati, from America. Fuck you, Teddy Roosevelt.
Stupid weeb.
They're
Get on
also
my city.
strong in the industrial era because they got a lot of production.
Yeah, they have a
'cause
unique building.
The
It's like an electronics store.
electronics factory.
Go Japan, yeah.
I love video games.
Oh, also their all era bonus is called kamikaze as well.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
They get increased fighting
Okay.
near water.
Yeah, speaking of, there's Japs and all their technology and civilization. Nintendo Direct came out, and they actually announced, I think it's Civ 6.
Yeah,
it's gonna
it
be on
is
the
Civ
Switch.
6.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. They did. I'm really excited.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they announced a fuckload of stuff for Nintendo Direct that
They,
actually
like-
looks super really
Well, I'm trying to
interesting.
City Skylines.
City Skyline's gonna be there. They had the new Splatoon trailer, which I don't know if any of you guys watched.
They're making a third one?
The new version.
It's like
sorry.
an update, I think.
Yeah, it's an update, new weapons, and
Like, Fortnite updates.
Free LC.
it's
Yeah.
only Fortnite
Free
updates.
DLC.
But yeah, the trailer for it is just straight up an anime intro. It's hilarious.
100%.
I gotta watch that as soon as we're done with
It
this.
is hilarious.
They have the classic anime opener music, and
Rock,
they have
J-Rock.
J-Rock.
Yeah,
they have
over their
they have the pan
Yeah.
over of each character with their with like the text underneath them for their name.
And they're all striking poses, arms crossed, like that. Like
this
it
from
is
Tattoo
great,
It's
man.
it's hilariously good.
Yeah, but I'm not the biggest Splatoon guy. I've always kind of wanted to get into it, so maybe now.
Yeah,
I've gotten into it a little bit. Me and Andrew both have kind of.
Yeah.
It's fun to a point, because I was playing it with me and Andrew were playing it one night, and you know, it's Nintendo. There's little kids playing the game, so we're not even. I wouldn't even consider us good at the game, but we still are.
Fuck you, my dad's a Marine. I'll kick your ass.
We're still a lot better than all the kids we play with. And there was this one night, I was spawn camping the enemy.
Hey, little boy.
The enemy 12-year-olds.
Yeah, here's what happened. Every single one of the people on their team quit.
They
And I just felt so bad. I was like, I probably just ruined this kid's night. It's the last game he can play before he has to go to bed, and some fucking dick face spawn camps his ass.
Which was me. I'm the dick face.
I am that dick face, and I felt really bad about it, but then I remembered. We were at war. There is no niceness in war. It's pure evil.
By war, you shoot paint at each other.
War is hell.
Ink.
Oh, I'm the retard.
War has changed.
This mercenary state we're in.
Of war has changed. Me, Andrew, Coley, and Uncle D started an epic video game journey in between this episode and the last one. We started Metal Gear.
Oh, I was
Metal
there
Gear
for
Solid.
Yeah.
Metal Gear
Exact.
Solid
But they-
1, dude.
They're stuck at the spam part.
Oh,
Spam
like
again.
fuck
the
that!
most
I
literally-
of literally the entire franchise.
It pissed me off.
I mean,
so
you
much.
just have to fucking spam circle, right?
No,
X?
yeah.
Circle. It's circle.
It's circle.
We know. We've seen it enough. It's circle.
I pressed enough circles
Wait,
in my
is
lifetime.
it? What part is it? What is happening?
It's when
Spoilers, though.
It's
You're being
so
interrogated by a person. There you go.
it's,
Spoiler
it's
free.
literally like a 20-year-old,
Yeah.
22-year-old
Ocelot,
game at this
Revolver
point.
Ocelot's interrogating you, and you're like, you spam circle to survive, or you can press the select button, I think it is, to submit. But if you submit, you're first of all, you're a fucking bitch ass pussy. Second of all, they kill Meryl, I think her name is.
Which is non-canonical, so you
Can't
save
do it.
Yeah,
you have to
Not
spam
only
that circle.
that, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's a
Wait,
freaking
I
bitch.
wanted
She's
to
a
be a
fox.
soldier my whole life.
No, I don't remember that buttocks.
Wait, was that one of the lines?
Yeah, dude.
Snake is a dog.
Yeah.
Can we talk about
So
that
he
for a little
is-
bit?
Metal Gear Solid 1 is so
woman,
awesome.
every woman Snake encounters, he has to hit on hard.
And
It's
to
great.
his credit, fairly successfully.
I mean, if
No.
I was just a badass, ripped as fuck dude, just killing everybody, I think I'd be pretty successful
Yeah, I
with
think
the
you-
ladies. Not
You
gonna lie.
slice some puss, dude.
Oh yeah, plenty of it.
No, I'm gonna, for what I was there for, it was just epic reading like the intro for like, the NES games, and like they
Yeah.
recapped it. It's so funny how anime it is
Yeah.
when it's trying to be like American combat, and stuff, and you're like, this pure battle of hearts.
Yeah, when they're describing
Gray Fox.
Snake fighting Gray Fox
Yeah.
in Metal Gear 2, just like, alone in a minefield, no weapons, no hatred, just a pure fight.
No intent of murder.
You're like, what?
You ever seen the actual gameplay of it? It's literally just two blocks punching each other. It's not that epic.
No, Daddy, it's an epic, soulful battle.
It's really epic when they recreate it in MGS1.
Yeah.
The Gray Fox fight.
Yeah,
Super
dude.
badass.
Oh,
that
speaking of Gray Fox, Cyborg Ninja or Ninja Cyborg?
Cyborg Ninja.
Cyborg Ninja. When you fight him, when you're trying to save Otakon.
Otacon.
Otaku convention for all you non-Metal Gear fans. When you're saving him, you have to fight Cyborg Ninja. And that's such a sweet fucking fight because once you start punching him, he's like, good, that's how it should be. Only fists. It's so badass.
No.
I think that series has my favorite video game moment of all time.
What is it?
MGS4. I won't spoil anything for those who haven't played it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's referred to as Microwave Hallway.
I know
that
that
is.
Microwave Hallway. Microwave Hallway is, my personal opinion. I've played some games, I'll admit that. The single most badass video game moment ever created.
Yeah. I mean, Microwave Hallway's so badass.
Wait.
Holy shit.
In terms of length of the game, like where would you position that? Like early, middle, late?
Oh,
Like,
it's near the end of the game.
okay. So
Yeah.
it's
You're rounding the
end.
corner.
No,
Okay.
I like in MGS4 it has one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, it does for me as well.
I don't know
No
how much
spoilers.
I'm not gonna spoil it. Fuck, what can I say? It's one of the boss fights near the end. And it's just so funny what happens when you grapple with the boss. It makes me laugh so hard every time I see it.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm talking about, Nick?
Yeah, the final boss fight?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. But it's so funny. But there's they just throw this crazy wacky ass shit in these games. And you're like, this is so funny and amazing.
And it's
It
completely
really goes
serious.
to show just how epic MGS4 is one of your, Paul's, favorite video game moments of all time, and yours, Omar.
Yeah, one of my
And one of my favorite of all time are also from MGS4, and they're all different scenes.
Yeah.
My favorite, once again, no spoilers for the people that haven't played the whole series. In MGS4, there's a point where you do something very retrospective.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
previous
about.
games in the series, and that scene can almost bring me to tears. It's just so epic. Snake's going
powerful.
back, and it does flashbacks to the previous game of the series when you're there, and the entire control scheme changes to you're playing that game again.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to crazy, awesome PS3 HD graphics again, and it's just so badass.
That game, I mean, by far, I think MGS4 might be my favorite story wise.
I would agree.
Three.
I would agree.
For sure, the
3's good.
It's a hard sell between 4 and 3 of what is the single greatest storyline between those two. So I'll leave it ambiguous. I'm not even going to answer that.
I think what's great about 3's storyline is that it's so self-contained. You really don't need to have played any of the other games of the series to
it's
understand what's going on. There's a lot of Easter eggs that refer to the other games in the series. But MGS3 is a great, just you can have never played any of the other games. Jump in. It's not too complex like MGS2 is, where you just literally have to pay attention to every single piece of dialogue throughout the entire game to have even a hope of telling what's going on.
Yeah.
But
That game has some great moments too.
I like the story of 3 because it's such a good individual one. MGS4's though is the culmination of literally the entire series. You have to have played all the other ones to get it, but it is so fucking epic.
But in terms of gameplay, MGS5.
Oh
takes the
yeah,
cake.
for sure.
But the story wise, it's
It doesn't exist really because you gotta listen to 5.5 hours or some crazy ass big number of tapes to even kind of understand what's going on.
That's another good one you could probably just jump into. But the
Yeah,
problem,
I
if
did
that is
that.
your first Metal Gear game, getting past the first cutscene or the first part of that game,
The hospital.
probably you're just gonna want to put it down after that.
I don't
yeah.
know. That was my first Metal Gear game, and I loved it from the moment I fucking
Yeah,
woke
but
up.
I
I
feel like some
pre-ordered
people-
it and Colt watched me play
But
it.
I feel like
It's
some
wow.
people that never heard any of the story or how over the top the game can be, and they just heard it's a good game.
That's all. That was me
And
actually.
cinematically, it's pretty
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Graphics too.
I mean, if you went on to Reddit or something, you could still see people, even fans of the game, going, it was a little too long.
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's every game. If you look for haters, you're gonna find them no matter what.
Yeah,
true.
I guess.
but also it gives you this false expectation for the other games.
It definitely
Like,
does.
Yeah.
Really did. Because I
That's-
was completely like, what the fuck? This is not how Metal Gear Solid 5 was.
Yeah, how does playing MGS1 change your opinion of MGS5 at all, knowing that
it makes-
the little kid is Psycho Mantis
Yeah.
as a child and
Well,
stuff?
here's the thing. When I was super into MGS5, like, I put over, like, at least 150 hours in that game.
Yeah.
I looked up the Metal Gear timeline because I didn't have any of the other Metal Gear games, and fuck me if I was gonna buy them. Hell no, I'm not gonna buy games.
Fuck you, fuck me.
Yeah, but
It's like the first one in the timeline, right?
no,
No.
3 is.
Oh, 3. Yeah. 3.
Yeah.
But anyways, I looked up the whole timeline, so I sort of, kind of know what's going on with the games.
Walkers.
But like gameplay wise, I was just blown away. I was like, this is so
Yeah,
different.
it's so fun.
And-
Get it for the gameplay if you want a really just great game.
Probably the best, in gameplay sense, best stealth game
Oh,
ever made.
easy.
I
No,
can't think
easy,
of
like,
another stealth game that's as
There's
fun.
like the only other stealth games you got are like fucking horror games like Amnesia and stuff like that.
Speaking of Amnesia, me, Paul, and Danny started it literally last night.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
already beaten the game.
yeah,
No,
I beat
Danny
it with
played
Danny.
before,
I beat it with
but he was
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah,
So
it's
it-
intense. I mean,
The game.
it's not like it's super heavy horror. At least the parts we got to, I wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
we're
my-
very early.
My
still.
socks weren't blown off. It's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Oh.
It takes like a really long time to get into the scary parts because the game's mechanic of sanity. It really has to take like a toll
Explain
on your
how that
character.
works
So
for
it's
listeners.
your character's sanity. It starts out good, I guess to say.
Sane.
You're sane.
You're saying you just have amnesia, but your character is afraid of the dark. So the longer you stay in the dark, the more insane he starts to go, and the more horror stuff starts to happen. Say you're all the way down at the bottom of your sanity, which is like your brain's rotting, essentially, and you'll just see like monsters coming after you.
But are they not actually
Sometimes they won't be there, and sometimes they will be. Like obviously there are scenes where they did put a monster there.
Yeah, set pieces.
Yeah, especially like in the sewers.
Oh yeah,
That-
fuck the sewers.
That scene.
Yeah, it's
That's actually a really good scene.
yeah. It sounds
in the game.
very similar to people if you played Don't Starve. You know,
Oh,
it's,
yeah, that's-
it's like that where you start to lose insanity and monsters start showing up.
Yeah,
and
it's like that.
yeah,
And back to your comment before about how it's not super like jump scary or even that like scary at the beginning. That's part of the reason why I really wanted to play it, was because I've heard like the reason people love it is like atmospheric horror.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of jump
And it-
scares throughout the whole game, but just like slowly, like the diaries you pick up and stuff, you learn about all
And
this
they-
like crazy human experimentation and stuff that's going on.
And they even have a pretext in the game from the developers where it's like, don't focus on beating this game, focus on getting yourself immersed in this horror story that's unfolding, which is, I really respect that.
Yeah.
That they just come out and straight up tell you that you probably won't beat this, like straight away. Try to enjoy yourself in the moment of it. It's
They specifically tell you to wear headphones when you play, stuff like that. Yeah,
That's funny because when me and Danny were when we beat it, I didn't want to play at all. Like I was like, this isn't fun. This is boring. This is fucking stupid. But I would give the controller to Danny, and I was perfectly fine with just watching him play, and I had fun doing that.
yeah.
Oh,
We might have to play it tonight then.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, some of the puzzles are just so
Fuck
stupid.
the puzzles.
You're supposed
We had to
like
Google
count
those.
how many pipes there are and stuff, and then just memorize that number, and then like go halfway across the map and start switching stuff.
Yeah, you gotta Google some
then-
of those.
Had some cancer.
Or
Another good
yeah.
horror game me and Paul just decided to play on a whim. That I didn't expect to be scary at all. Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh
Yeah, we played it, and they like all the DLCs out on PC. I didn't know this, and we decided just to do a campaign, the
Yeah.
No Mercy campaign in the hospital.
dude.
And like Paul wasn't playing with headphones, and I'm like sitting here, I'm like, dude, I don't want to turn the corner. You're like, what are you talking about? And he put on headphones. He's like, dude, it is way scarier with headphones on and stuff.
That game
Hearing
was
a
a
witch.
blast. When Omar and I are going through it, and he was the shotgun dude, just rounding corners, douche, douche, douche,
Yeah.
lighting motherfuckers up. And I just had a sniper, would just be like, hold on, give me 10 seconds. Pop, 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 pop. And I would like pre-clear rooms,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And it was a really fun experience.
It was, and like.
I
We
need to
killed
get-
every witch we saw. We
Yeah.
were like, fuck the witches, we're killing
Yeah,
you.
we're not sneaking past this shit. We're
No.
gonna kill your ass.
Pop 'em.
Tanks in that game, they're scarier than I remember when I first played that.
Dude,
When I
on
hear
the-
that music, it's like I was playing with my friends. I ran away so they would get killed first.
I'm sure we were at the end of that
Oh, we
hospital,
were at the end.
and then a tank comes, and I'm like, oh, we'll kill the tank because we're pretty well stocked and stuff.
Yeah.
And the tank hits me with a rock. It just launches me off the edge, and I die instantly. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like at full health, and
Was this during the final fight? Like on
Yeah.
the roof
on the
of
roof,
hospital?
yeah.
Yeah, that fight's really.
Yeah.
But me and him had never played the DLC or anything.
No.
And so I think it'd be a fun game, like 4 people, just play the DLC.
Is
Yeah,
Dark
I
Carnival
absolutely
DLC?
consider.
Yeah, Dark Carnival's on
Dark
it.
That's my
Carnival?
favorite
No,
campaign.
no,
Yeah.
I think it's every campaign is on.
Well, yeah. Were you playing Left 4 Dead 2?
Yeah.
One of the DLCs for it is just the entirety of Left 4 Dead 1.
It's No Mercy Left 4 Dead 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anything with those characters is with like Zoe and like Bill and
Yeah,
all
Bill's the
those
shit,
characters.
dude.
That's
Bill
all
is
from
hilarious.
the original Left 4
He
Dead.
just smokes a cigarette the
I think
entire
that's
time.
so goofy that they just have the entire first game in the second game.
Well,
like,
and
there's
it was
no
free.
reason to own Left 4 Dead 1.
Yeah, Bayonetta did the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. I really want to play Bayonetta, actually. Huge Platinum fan.
Yeah. Anyone else got any good
Oh.
shit they've been playing?
Well,
I mean, I think we've all been playing a little something.
Age
Age of
of
Empires 2
Empires 2.
HD Edition.
HD's nuts, bitch. We've been-
Literally,
What a great game.
It's weird. That game is so weird from a development standpoint. How it's still releasing DLC packs.
20 years
It's
later.
20 years later.
Yeah.
It's
20.
crazy to
It's.
me.
I mean, I won't say it's the best game I've ever played, but it is the game that's held up the most out of any. I don't fucking play Duck Hunt anymore. You know? Like it's a game that's held its. It held
Even,
its
like,
I think it
fucking
came out in
weight.
1998.
Yeah.
20 years old.
Yeah.
And that is as fun now as the day it came out.
And it still
In
has
Halo
a
1, games like Halo 1 and Halo 2, I wouldn't play them again unless they re-released them. I was like, oh, I'll play them. But like Age of Empires 2 is still being supported.
Yeah.
Like, the original version is still
Yeah.
being
No,
supported.
it's fucking.
It even uses that
Yeah.
shitty client you from Steam. You have to go in this shitty client, press play and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's good as hell. Though.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
we-
getting like big groups of people, like 5+ people, and just getting sweet like giant wars on huge maps,
Yeah.
just teams, and
Oh,
like you mobilize just huge armies against people. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
it's impressive we're still able to rally 8 people to play a 20-year-old game. That's a testament.
And those are the best games, too. Just,
Yeah, 4v4 or 2v2,
Yeah, like-
2v2v2.
That's definitely a trend in games. Like they've gone way away from like. I feel like multiplayer-esque. It's more of like you
Yeah.
can't do co-op really ananymore.
It's more
anymore.
matchmaking.
I think it's coming back, if I'm being frank. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was a huge 360, PS3 had very little co-op games, and PS2 almost the same.
Left 4 Dead 2, though.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
But that's
that's
like-
a diamond in the rough.
I would agree with that.
Like, you know what I mean? Most of those games aren't co-op, aren't.
Yeah.
And any multiplayer, it's still like one person per system. You know what I mean?
And which
Yeah.
kind of sucks. It almost
It
seems
does
like
not.
a way
It major
to make
sucks.
more money.
Definitely.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
But-
Money.
Yeah, I feel like they're getting away with it though.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think Nintendo's
No,
on the
that's why I
forefront
like
of
the
push.
resurgence
Yeah.
of indie games. Because indie game people are like, we want you to buy this game and tell your friends. but we want you to experience it with your friends too. So you get hyped with your friends. So like we'll make multiplayer indie games.
I think there are a lot of really good local multiplayer
Rocket
indie
League.
games. Rocket League.
When that first came out, it was
Towerfall.
Yeah.
Astro Bears.
Astro Bears.
Rocket
there's
League
a
was
shit.
free, dude.
Yeah.
That's
when it first came out,
huge.
just so people would spread
Yeah,
the word,
dude,
and
talk
now it's
about-
one of the biggest.
Esport. It's
There's, like,
esport now.
Esport
Yeah.
indie
Esport.
game. That's insane. That's
Yeah.
No,
so
there's
Yeah.
like that game.
It
Was
was
that
an indie
Hala?
game.
Was that Overcooked game?
Yeah.
Indie game?
Ooh, Overcooked.
Overcooked.
Is there competitive for that?
I hope
Overcooked is so fun. I need to get that on the Switch.
it
No,
gets
get
very
Overcooked too,
infuriating.
dude.
There's a second one
Yeah,
already?
yeah,
that's
Holy
the-
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Overcooked gets
Overcooked
It's
2
fun.
like adds more.
Yeah, but Overcooked is fun as fuck until you get to the late stages of the game. Then you just want to chuck your Joy-Con straight into the fucking TV.
Yeah, when you're just dashing across your kitchen in the middle of a volcano, knocking your friends off into the lava, you're just like,
Yeah.
fuck this game. I don't want to be making burgers in a fucking
No, it's
volcano.
Fuck burgers.
Burritos. It's
Yeah,
burritos.
no,
in
sorry,
there.
burritos in a
Yeah.
volcano.
Fuck burritos
Get it
too.
right.
No, but I do like the game for like. It just
yeah.
has these interesting levels. Like there's that ice level where you have to skate around the ice and
Oh, yeah.
grab all the
It's
stuff,
great.
and it's fun.
It's a blast. I mean, in one session, we crushed, I believe, 5 worlds.
Most of the game, we only stopped because we got pissed, and I think that we were on the last world, actually.
Yeah, we literally could
With the
not
space
unlock
and
new levels without going back to previous levels to get more stars.
and
on
we
those
had
levels.
gotten a lot of stars. Like
Yeah.
a lot. We replayed levels till we got at least like 2 stars, and we usually got 3 stars on levels.
Yeah, but then later in the game, we started getting 1 stars, and that's when we started losing our morale. When when we turned into 1-star volcano chefs, it was
Yeah.
just embarrassing. It was so embarrassing.
Well, there was it's a very massive jump from getting 2 to 3 stars, and then we hit space, making burritos in space.
So fun.
We'd have to replay the level to get a single star.
Yeah, it
And
was-
we were just getting fed up, but you know.
Yeah, but the game, I think 2 looks cool because they have like zombie one and stuff, and then they had mixers to make like dough or bread and stuff.
Really?
Sounds like more cancer to throw at us. I love
No,
it.
but
Yeah,
but
I
the game
love
also
it.
adds where you can toss stuff to people.
That'd be hilarious. Then you won't have to try to skate across the ice bridge while it's moving. So you
Yeah, just chuck
yeet
that
it
shit.
over the thing.
Yeah.
He-Man style.
Yeah.
No, games,
Yeah.
indie games are great.
And, dude, have you guys ever heard of Humans Fall Flat?
Yeah,
never-
yeah, it looks
Yes,
sweet.
I have seen
I'm
it,
with
and I
Nick.
really want to get it on the Switch.
Yeah, I was
Is that
watching
on
it
the
be
Switch?
played.
Yeah.
It's essentially Gang Beast, except for cooperative, and there
It's
is
a puzzle game.
and there's an overall objective you're trying to achieve. And it goes from construction site to Indiana Jones temple to like a castle, and there's just a goal you're trying to get out of the level, and it is crazy open ended.
Wait, is it local?
Yeah, it's
wanna
crazy
play that.
open ended, where you just grab it, that Gang Beast style physics, and you're just grabbing, say, a rope, and you're just like, I could probably jump off this edge, and for some reason the rope would swing this way, and I could let go of the rope, and I'd fly over this ledge, you know? So you just think of these crazy ass ideas and try to execute them. And
Is it
there's-
out?
Yeah, Humans Fall
Oh, yeah.
Flat.
I didn't. Yeah,
It's been out.
Yeah, it is fucking hilarious. And the controls are almost goofy on purpose with the Joy-Con, like doing things motion affects how your
Really?
character grabs things. So
that's even better.
it's so goofy to watch people. It's hilarious. It is
I want
so
to play
funny.
that so bad
I've
now.
been, I've been wanting to get this game
How much
for
is
a
it?
long while now.
I
Like
couldn't
$15
tell.
maybe.
I can tell you. I would suggest on Switch just for the motion controls because I was having a blast watching other people I was playing with trying to achieve the things. It was so funny.
Who were you playing with?
My brother Ben got it, and it's funny as fuck, dude. It's a good.
It looks great.
Yeah, it is. It's a good looking game,
Yeah.
but the art style is just funny. It's exactly like Gang Beast, really. Like I think the same engine and all that.
Gang Beast is so fucking fun too.
Gang
That's
Beast.
such a hilarious. If only it wasn't such a pain in the ass to play. Is it PC exclusive?
No.
I think it's on PS4 actually. Maybe.
I might
Yeah, I
buy
think
that
that
on
is.
PS4. That is a great local
so
multiplayer
fun.
game.
Yeah, without the Steam link, it's a pain in
Even
the ass
with
to
the
play
Steam link.
locally. You know, yeah, with the
'Cause
Steam link, it's a pain.
Then you
PC
got like
exclusive for a
games
while.
like
Yeah.
Crawl's another indie game.
That's a good
Crawl is a great game.
Yeah, someone
If-
explain Crawl.
yeah,
Explain
So
Crawl.
I mean, if you haven't heard or played it, it's like a dungeon crawl, a classic dungeon crawler, but the one stipulation is only one person out of the up to possibly 4 players playing locally is the actual dungeon crawler. Like your hero, you're actually fighting the monsters, but but the monsters are controlled by the other people who aren't crawling. So there's just like all these like bunch of different monsters. You at first you pick like a evil god, then he has like 3 different monsters, and you upgrade them, and there's 2 different upgrades each level. You can like go whatever you want, and these monsters, like some of them are just so annoying to fight, and you can just like outplay the crawler because it's not just like a dungeon crawler where you're fighting shitty AI. You're actually against your friends who are just kicking the shit out of you, and you're just getting pissed off. And it's like whoever gets the finishing blow on the crawler gets to become the next crawler. So you're always like when they're low health, everybody's just trying to last hit him, and you're just like
it's
trying
not
to
it's
dodge
not
everything.
even stop this guy at all costs. It's like I'm gonna strategically stop him so I become the crawler.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
It
the
is
game is good as fuck,
It is.
especially the final boss, where it's the Hydra.
Hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's a Hydra. That's each head is controlled by a separate human player.
Yeah.
It's so
Oh my God.
fucking funny.
Yeah, and then when you finally do cut off the heads, they just hop around, and you can still control them, and then they just shoot fire and ice and like acid at you. It's so annoying to fight them.
It is quite a clusterfuck of a game. You're just like running
Also,
through it.
But I
and
love
everyone's
it
just
so
doing
much.
totally different things, trying to murder this
Yeah.
one guy that's just
It's also
desperately trying to stay alive.
And there's also like just traps in each room that like even if there aren't monsters to summon, you could just like randomly shoot them with a fireball trap that you get the shitty
Yeah,
ass
you
hit, and
control
it's
the
just so
traps.
annoying.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's also metal as fuck, because like the announcer's like, your friends have died, or insane. You're the only one who can take up the mantle. And then, like in the beginning, to decide who's the first crawler, you have a death match where you're all crawlers, and whoever survives is the crawler. And
Who
it's,
will win?
yeah, and it's just insane.
Well, speaking of indie games, I just got one, nabbed it on sale for the Switch earlier this week. I was like, you know what? I need a game to play while I'm waiting in between an hour and a half in between my classes.
Yeah.
So it's normally $10. It was on sale for $5. It's called Hacky Zack. Like it's like a hacky sack, but
This
with
is
a
on the
Zack.
Switch?
It's on Switch. It's a platformer like Super Meat Boy, right?
Yeah.
So you're just super hard platforming, but the platforming's relatively easy. What makes the game hard is you're kicking a ball to the goal the whole time, and while trying to platform, it's really hard to multitask that and to manage it in a way that you can do it. Some levels are really easy, but then like there's I think they call them stickers in the game. It's a little collectible item in each level that you can get. Those are what's hard in some levels, and then it's actually easy to beat the others. But most of the time, the levels are hard as fuck, and it takes a lot of retrying to do. So maybe not the best game if you want to just relax, because it gets me pissed off real quick. But it's fun.
It's the Dark Souls of platformers.
Oh my god!
You know what game really pisses me off? Devil May Cry.
Danny's been
I've already told Nick and most of the people.
Yeah.
I bought the Devil May Cry HD collection on Steam. On the second boss, I've had it.
Is that the Scorpion one?
I beat him
Oh,
this
you beat
morning.
the
I beat
Scorpion?
him this morning.
Oh,
It took me.
hell yeah.
You. Not, okay. This game, it's fun to play. It's a really fun game to play. And like when you're just fighting like regular enemies. It's kind of like Bayonetta.
Bayonetta's fun.
It's like that. But when you're fighting bosses, it goes, or at least the first one. I'm playing them in order, so I'm only on the first one. And it's just like a 1v1, and it kind of feels like when Paul was watching me play, he said it looks like a Dark Souls game, kind of.
Yeah.
And it feels like that.
The mechanics
Yeah.
are similar.
I agree.
But the camera angles
fuck those.
They're set
Resi
camera
1
angles.
camera
It's
angles.
those, and they kind of look cool in ways, like cinematic, but it just gets really shitty when a boss is behind your pillar you can't see.
Yeah, and your camera's just... You
Yeah.
literally can't see yourself with the camera angle they provide.
I didn't know that when I was watching you play, that you weren't controlling the camera.
No.
So I was just like, why the fuck isn't Danny rotating the camera? This is a horrible, like,
And
angle.
he's an idiot. And the second boss I was playing,
Yeah.
Coley was watching me do it.
Yeah.
He has 3 stages. He keeps on jumping up this castle, and I jump up with him. But the thing is, when I jump up and grab a ledge to hop on up to the next platform, he can still attack me when I do that. So
He gets a free hit like every time.
and yeah, I'm so close to killing him. I'm on the last stage. I'm so close to killing him, and I barely have any health left. And I jump up. I grab up. The camera hasn't panned to the next area yet, and I die. I couldn't see it happen. I'm just like, what the shit? It's a cool boss, though.
It looks so cool.
That's another thing. The character, everything in that game just looks
The design.
cool because it's so over the top.
It looked really edgelord
It
when
is
I was
so
watching.
edgy.
Yeah, it's so edgy.
Wearing a trench coat with a demon sword
And
two
pistols.
pistols with infinite ammo in them.
Yeah, that's
And,
awesome.
It's very anime
The
look to
opening,
it.
the opening
ultimate
cutscene is just like hilarious.
I've never played Devil May Cry before, and I've told Danny and Paul this already, but apparently it was originally going to be Resident Evil 4.
Really?
But the gameplay was so different than the previous games in the series that they
New
were
IP.
just like, you have to rename it. It can't be a
we
Resident
can't be
Evil
doing
game.
that.
So
That's
like,
so
okay,
cool.
It's like not survival
I
horror
mean-
at all.
Yeah.
It's just action all the way. And as the future showed, I mean, Resident Evil 4 ended up just pretty much being an action game anyway. But still,
Yeah.
But the
Son of
gameplay
a
is
you
demon.
can
fun.
tell, like, graphically and just design-wise, it's very Resident
Yeah,
Evil.
it's animated.
Especially the first game.
I looked at the main character and I was like, that looks very Resident Evil-y. Like,
He looks like
And I'm sure that's where the
main
character
character in 4.
came from.
Yeah,
like, pulled over
Leon.
from that.
He looks like Leon.
that's what I
he
was
looks
thinking.
like
yeah.
Leon. Actually, it's
Yeah.
weird.
It's so
I'm waiting for someone to come in to talk about the president's ICB
president's
and
daughter.
daughter's ICB.
Yeah. Have you guys watched any like anime shit lately?
There's one I'm rewatching right now. It's called Ushio and Tora. It's the manga was like old 80s manga that they just made an anime adaptation for this century. So like 2012 I think was when the first season came out
Yeah.
for it. And it's this kid, regular
it's
kid.
older.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
not
older.
older, but it's
It's from an older era with newer animation, but the animation that they use is old style, kind of.
It's pretty
Okay.
good.
Wait, is it
the
sorry, is it like hand drawn or is it?
No, it's not hand drawn.
It's digital.
But they make it try to look hand drawn. But what the premise is, this totally normal middle school kid whose dad is a
Omioji.
a Japanese monk, basically. Fucking crazy dad. He's hilarious, by the way. He has to go on a business trip. This all happens in the first episode, so not spoiling anything. He goes on a business trip.
Except for the first episode.
Yeah, fuck you. If this gets you pissed off, stop watching right now. Just kidding. Don't stop.
we love you, like and subscribe.
Yeah, but anyways, he goes on a business trip and he says, make sure you air out the books in the shed or some bullshit about airing out books.
Yeah.
So he goes to the shed and he's
need
like,
to air
what's
them out."
this? And there's a trap door in the shed that he's never seen before. He opens it up and there's
Daddy's got some secrets.
a giant sex dungeon. No. there's a fucking big ass scary looking demon impaled by a spear just stuck on the wall by the spear, and the demon's like, pull this spear out, and the kid's like, hell no, and just runs away.
Hell no.
And then later he's like, maybe I should pull the spear out. He comes back, pulls the spear out, and then the demon's like, I'm gonna eat you now, you idiot! And then it turns out the spear's what's called the demon spear that's like super powerful against monsters.
Okay.
And so the monster,
Classic buff.
Convenient.
so the monster can actually eat him. The monster's name is Tora. The kid's name is Ushio. That's where the name comes from, Ushio and Tora. And so Ushio and Tora. So Tora just wants to eat Ushio real bad, and Ushio doesn't want to get eaten.
So they
hate
go
when
on
that
zany
happens.
adventures for the rest of the season.
Basically, except it's very episodic until about a quarter of the way through the first season. Then it starts picking up. You get the actual plot going, and then from there it's very plot heavy, and it's funny and badass. The music is great.
The music's really
The
good.
music is so fucking good, and the story is really good. My only complaint is in the second season, they didn't have the budget as they did for the first one.
Oh, it looks shitty.
So, no, they had to cut it in half. Instead of 25 episodes, it's 13. But they did get the mangaka, for all you non-weebs, that's the manga writer, they got him to say, okay, this is what needs to go in this season. Like, this is what you need to put in the anime to make it coherent and good.
Yeah, what we need.
Yeah, and so it wraps up in the 2 seasons, but
it feels rushed.
the second season is very rushed. I read the manga, so I know what they took out. They took out some substantial stuff, but overall, 8 out of 10. Great watch. You should watch it.
Damn, that's intense.
Yeah, definitely.
I was last week or whatever. I watched Tokyo Godfathers. Finally, it's a movie I've been putting off. Anime film. It's actually written by the head script writer for Bebop.
Ooh,
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Tokyo Godfathers, and it's kind of goofy. It's 3 homeless people. One is a teen chick.
Is she hot?
Nah.
Not watching it.
Funny,
Funny how homeless people are hot.
I will tell you, she comes from a middle upper class family. Used to be fat, and then she goes homeless, and current her is slim and not good looking. It's not like a over sensualized anime, but it's just hilarious. She used to be fat back in the day, and then she became homeless, and she's not. But back to the thing, it's her. So she's a teenage homeless chick, a drunk homeless dude, classic homeless dude, just got himself where he belongs, and then a homo, as they call him. They literally make so many homo jokes, it's outrageously funny. The comedy in it is just you're fucking a homo. That's it. It's pretty fucking funny.
Everyone point and laugh.
Yeah, it's not that crude, but it is it's fucking funny how insensitive or PC they are. They just fucking go out with it because they're just homeless. It's a weird look on society. They ride the bus at one point and everyone's just oh my god, these people smell so fucking bad, and makes you just kind of be okay, fuck normal people.
And Japanese society is so formal.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of too, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just them. Christmas Day, they find a baby, and the story goes wonderful, mystical places from then. And it's just about them having a baby. But so a teenage girl, a homeless drunk, and a homo who was also homeless. A homeless man.
Homeless home.
Homo-less.
Yeah, he also dresses like a woman, so I don't want to
drag
make it.
queen.
That's what.
Yeah, she's a transvestite.
Transvestite story.
Yeah, that's the right word for that. I'm just trying to be respectful, Sorry.
Oh,
Libtard.
speaking of homos in anime, I've seen the Reddit community fucking hates the way gay people are portrayed in anime. Well, this is specifically r/anime, which I used to go on a lot. I don't go on there
The
much anymore.
scholars of r/anime.
Yeah, it's fucking. That's a cancerous subreddit. Don't go on there.
The sect, more like.
Yeah, but anyways, they just get so mad about how the gay people are portrayed in Japanese animation. And it's like, whether you agree with it or not, it's kind of funny seeing all these people get pissed off about another culture's like views on things.
Yeah.
That's true. Because that our anime is totally American people. Right?
Oh yeah, totally.
There's zero Japanese
it's mainly
people.
American.
A lot of
Some Europeans.
Yeah, that's fair.
Outside of like anime, which I think the general Japanese viewing population by like their standards are pretty left wing. I think like in general Japan's very like anti-homosexuality and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're very.
I mean, I think like
conservative
child
society.
porn shit was outlawed in like the 90s.
it was because of a serial killer.
No, I heard about that. An anime I watched, Cole watched it too and told me about it. I forget its name. It's about the old guy who becomes a robot.
Oh, I love it. It's called it's Inuyashiki.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The way it works is it's this. He's not old. He's like 50.
He's old by the anime standards.
Yeah, but he's old by the anime standards. But he looks like he's 80. He has a bunch of health problems, and everyone in his life fucking hates him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he and a kid get hit by he gets hit by a flying saucer.
What?
And then the aliens are like, holy shit, we gotta rebuild him. We can't like leave a trace or whatever. And they're like, but we only have combat model robots to rebuild him with.
Oh, that classic anime dilemma.
And so they're like, okay. And then it's him discovering he's like a robot. He doesn't have any health problems anymore, but he looks old as dirt. And then he's like a robot now, and he can like heal people with cancer and stuff like that. So he makes visits to the hospital, just heals people miraculously and stuff.
He's just Robo Jesus.
But then there's he like goes on adventures against a serial killer and trying to stop him. But there's this great like parts where he like infiltrates the Yakuza, and he's like, I can't kill them, and he commands the robot like suit inside him. He says, just incapacitate them for the rest of their lives.
It's so great.
And so what it does is shoot lasers and pinpoints their spinal columns, so they're paralyzed from the neck down, and their eyes, so they're blinded. And everyone in the Yakuza gets...
It's very brutal, and it's great action watch, but it's short, and I'm pretty sure it was rushed. From what I've seen,
the animation's kind of weird too.
I think it's only 11 or 12 episodes. The ending was very rushed, felt very rushed, but
it's great.
Don't want to spoil anything, but our wonderful and great president T-Dog has a cameo in this anime.
Trump's
yeah, he does.
He's in the anime, so. Just watch it for Trump.
Oh, also the main villain is crazy as fuck.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he is crazy.
Like you start, they take you on like a roller coaster of do I like him, do I not like him, and at the end you're still not sure if you like him or not.
The villain?
Yeah.
No, it's like weird, like the way they do it like really well. Where it's like, oh, I hate him so much. He's such a dick. And then you're like, wait, but then he's like doing this, and you're like, wait, I kind of empathize with him. But then he does a big dick move again. You're like, I hate you so much.
Is this a newer anime?
Yeah, it came out last
fall or something?
last year in the fall season.
Hey, I pose a question though. Did Thanos do anything wrong?
I've never watched the movie, can't say.
Freaking hate.
I'm not feeling so good, Mr. Stark.
I love
The
the
best
Fidget
line.
Gauntlet.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, anyone watch any other shit?
I'm still just working my way through Adventure Time.
Yeah,
slowly.
Same with me.
Yeah.
Megalobox, that's the only other thing I've watched.
Yeah, I watched that too.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Isn't it good?
It really is.
Okay, explain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So,
you do it.
I mean, the basis of the story is it's like the future, and the big spectator sport these days is megaloboxing, which is just regular boxing, but you got a robot on your back that makes you punch harder.
Yeah, that's it.
And then
So are there still humans? Like,
It's like
getting hurt?
it's
like-
cyborg suits, basically.
Yeah,
It's like regular boxing, but the people get way more hurt.
it's way cooler. And so, like, the main character is just...
a Spike Spiegel type.
Yeah, it's Spike Spiegel, pretty much looks a lot like him. He's just dirt poor, not even a real citizen because he lives in the slums, but he just loves boxing so much, and he's just, like, starts out in the underground, like, shitty boxing ring. People are just betting on him, and his, like...
And it's fixed matches.
Yeah, his manager, like, is fixing all the matches, but he's, like, always telling him, you're a real boxer, kid, like, you actually have talent, and then, like... He's just like continues to fight, and he's just like, fuck this, I don't want to throw matches anymore. And he's like, all right. And turns out his manager is god tier trainer. Just turns into a beast.
He's Rocky. He's
so
Rocky.
It's a great watch.
He enters into the like international megalobox tournament.
Yeah.
His gimmick is he's the one guy who doesn't use the cyborg outfits to box.
No fucking
name-
way.
Yeah, his name is Gearless Joe. And
'Cause
he
the-
goes in and just goes ham on these kids with no gear.
Is it
Gearless Joe Jack.
The
Yeah.
first season is finished.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Are they making more? It seemed
They're
like-
definitely gonna
another
make more.
season.
It was
Wait,
so
is
popular.
that the show that was originally a show from like the 90s or something that they brought back?
That's Berserk.
Couldn't.
Hey,
That's berserk, dude.
You idiot.
I didn't
No,
watch
but
it.
it ends kind of like on a thing where you're like, oh, I'm waiting for something to happen. So
Yeah.
it has
I don't
another.
know.
Okay.
I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. Won't spoil anything, but I thought it was
Kinda
rushed.
weak.
Yeah,
Well,
I thought it was
are they
rushed, a little
continuing
weak.
it?
Yeah, they are.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
No, it was
super
crazy popular. And
Yeah.
what they did was they did the Cowboy Bebop art style. So it's like
Yeah,
the grainy.
it looks amazing.
The
music
fights are great. Music.
I mean, overall, I thought it was great. I mean, I got super into it. It's only, I think, 13 episodes the first season.
That was just 13.
Yeah, real easy watch, and you'll get into it really fast.
Yeah.
And
It's
just
super
spam it
badass.
in one night.
Yeah.
And all the gears are like different too. Like one guy's just got this massive
Well,
one
they
with no
have to.
speed, but then this other guy has one that can like predict movements and shit. And you know, like they all do
Yeah.
different things.
This is reminding me a shit ton of Redline. I don't know. I think Nick's seen Redline, but
Great
it's a
movie.
racing anime where it's similar. He's winning hedge bet races and all that, or he's losing, I guess. hedge
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
the
he's
race.
throwing
Yeah,
matches,
races.
and it's almost exactly the same. They all have these dank fucking cars that one chick has an aqua car that specializes at going in water and all that, and then they have these cells. What, I don't even know how to describe them. They're essentially NOS, but they're in they're in capsules. And the animation
Are they
is,
called nitro pills?
it's
They have
something like
some
that.
weird
It's
name.
Sounds
NOS
so
for your
cool.
car, and that it's the same. Isn't it the same studio as Evangelion? Or I might
I don't
be.
believe so.
Skynet?
I don't
No.
Is it,
All
might
I
be
know
wrong.
about the
Gainax is
studio is that
robots.
since the movie is entirely
If you've seen the
hand drawn,
movie, it's like-
they went bankrupt.
Yeah.
after they
And
made
I'm
it.
telling
Like,
you,
the
the
animation
animation-
is
oh,
so
it's-
good.
The
I've
animation's
only seen
fucking
clips.
phenomenal. The nitro scenes are the best, and
Wait,
don't
is
worry.
it a movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
movie. And
movie.
don't worry, there are many nitro scenes where it's just like, here's my cap, toss it in the air, catch it, drop it in their nitrous, push down this thing to crush it, and then just their cars,
I want to see
their
this
face
so
is
bad.
just melting because they're going so
After
fast.
the podcast, I'll show you like the craziest
Dude.
nitro scene from the movie.
The animation's amazing. The music is so fucking sick, and it's essentially a race at the beginning, plot, race at the end. Oh my god, it is a fucking
Plot
phenomenon.
is so goofy.
Yeah.
So the red line from which the movie is named is the name. It's like a anime
Interpol-
sci-fi cannonball run. It's they pick a planet and they race the red line, which is just like around
Yeah,
the
it's-
equator
yeah.
of the planet.
It's the red
I
line
think.
race.
Is it?
It's what they could. The race is just called the red line.
Yeah.
Wait, so how fast are these cars going?
Dumb fucking fast.
Ridiculously fast. But they
Fast
pick a
as
planet
fuck.
to do the red line race on, and then the government of that planet is just like, no. You can't do the red line race here. And they're just like, well, we're doing it anyway.
And then the
So
planet's
it's a
just
street
like,
race.
oh, okay, you do it anyway. We're gonna send military.
Yeah,
action.
so it's just like the army just trying to kill every racer in this race.
That's so.
Dude, I want to see this so bad now.
Redline, as far as like action anime movies go, is up there on my list of favorites.
It's
It
a
is-
great movie.
I've seen it a couple times now, and it never gets old because it's not too much plot and just sweet looking
even
action.
Outside of the story, it is legitimately probably the best animation I've ever seen.
Really?
It's an
Really?
entire. It came out, I think, in 2012,
Yeah, it's
and
around there.
every frame of the movie is hand drawn.
Wow.
They decided.
It's a Cuphead.
And
yeah.
yeah, and you guys know, like, it's almost reminiscent of like pod racing, which prequels to Star Wars. Pod racing is a sick edition. You can shit on the prequels, but
Pod racing's so
is
cool.
awesome, and it's like the Boon to Eve, where they're just in the middle of the desert, and there's like 30 people camping out to watch this race, just pumping fists, like yeah. This is the Boon to Eve. It's reminiscent of that, you know.
Yeah,
It-
definitely. And like
it's
some
really
of the cars have like weapons on them and shit.
Oh, most of the cars have weapons on them, except for the main character.
yeah, it's classic, just like the boxing.
Yeah,
anime, like the
because
main
guess
character.
what? Weapons slow you down.
But
But he uses the pills, right?
Yeah,
The
they
Nox
all
pills.
use the nitrous, but it shows you him using the nitrous majority of the time.
They just have. I got just a belt buckle.
Well,
full of nitrogen.
you can only use a certain amount of nitrous because it'll blow your engine if you just overuse it.
Of course.
Yeah, dude, that is one of my favorite anime
yeah.
movies.
I've been
That's
I've been reminded of a anime that I loved and sad that there's not much left of. Just gonna say this: Hajime no Ippo. We need a new season.
Holy shit! I was
Great.
playing. Once I finish Adventure Time, that's my next show.
Have you finished it?
I've watched the first season.
No, I told him to
Before.
watch it when I watched it, and he watched it, right?
Yeah,
He hasn't
I've seen
finished
the
it.
first season.
Oh,
but there's
yeah.
3,
There's
right?
like 100-something episodes. It's so great and
Yeah.
great characters, great fights, great design. All I have to say is they make you feel really fucking bad for the guys that Ippo
Dude,
fights.
One of the best parts of the show is that there's no like bad guy in
And
the
all-
show.
even
Like
the-
there are people he's fighting,
Yeah.
but they're just other boxers
And
and
even
people trying to make a
morally
living from
fairly
boxing.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And even like the main bad guy that they try to make is the main bad guy, he becomes a really sweet ass like side character that you really love.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best fights in the whole show is he's boxing this Russian guy.
Oh, that
Who's literally like Ippo's boxing because he loves boxing and he just wants to be better at it. This dude's fighting because his like mom has cancer
And it's
he's
the
dirt
only way he
poor,
makes
and it's
money.
like literally the only way he can save his mom's life.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the fights where you're rooting for the other guy. You're rooting for the Russian dude. You're like, holy shit! Like
Don't
this guy's
spoil it
mom's
now.
gonna die if he doesn't win the fight.
Yeah.
There's, but
Like-
it's also great to watch like training, and then his trainer's like, "Oh my god, he learned the peekaboo defense on his own."
Dempsey roll.
Dempsey roll, and it's like,
Dempsey
what?
roll says-
He's so good at
Dempsey
fucking.
roll, the boxing move that's so powerful that your fists sound like missiles.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, that show has a scene where there's season 3. There's a character that it just makes you despise.
Yeah,
He like
yeah.
hits people outside of the boxing match. He hits girls and stuff. And
You got it. You're telling me it's a male who hits a female.
I know, cause she touched his motorcycle and
Yeah,
he got
yeah.
pissed. And
You can't touch a man's
me.
let's
hair.
just say what happens to him
Oh yeah.
is just
pitch.
Yeah.
Bo
Fucking
Justice.
awesome.
And let's say the girl that got hit for touching the motorcycle was Ippo's girl.
Oh no! I
Ippo,
remember that.
Ippo doesn't enjoy hurting people. He does it because he enjoys the sport. When he goes into this match, he has the intention of murdering this guy. And he fucks this guy up. Like,
It's crazy.
I'm not gonna say if he wins though, because
Yeah.
the guy, guess what? The guy fucks him up too, which
is every fight. In the
yeah,
show.
it's every fight.
Yeah,
in the
like
show.
every.
You're always on the edge of your seat. You never know who's gonna win those fights. Which is great.
I will say that Ippo is one of those shows where, like, you watch him progress and get stronger throughout the whole show, and there reaches a point where he's, like, so good at boxing that every fight, the show has to, like, come up with some handicap for him to, like, make the fights even.
Yeah, like
it's
his-
this fight going into, like, Ippo didn't get any sleep the night before, so
No.
he's exhausted.
Or like
when
he
they-
shattered his fist
Yeah.
a week ago.
There's a fight that he has no handicap going in, and it's the Dante fight.
Oh,
No handicaps. I don't think you've seen
Is Dante the champion?
The champion.
Yeah, I've seen that
He's
fight.
it's
That
such
is-
a good fight.
one of the best fights in the show.
One of the best fights in all of anime, maybe.
That or the
Naruto and Pain Dog.
no, what's
Ever seen Luffy versus Magellan?
it was Takamura versus the American guy.
With the bear?
So,
Oh yeah.
No, this anime is great, and it's just funny because like he does literally one amateur boxing match, then he's like, I'm going pro.
And there's so many penis jokes about Ippo's big schlonger that he's got. It's funny as fuck.
Classic.
Classic
I love
dick
dicks, dude.
I love a good penis joke, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else got any other shit?
I haven't been watching anime. It's
No,
Western
you're not.
anime.
Throw it out. Throw it
I've
out.
been so I go on kicks where it's anime for like a couple months, then Western, then anime. But the Western show that I'm watching is Venture Bros.
Oh, that show's funny.
I showed them a couple of episodes, and that I just heard it's really good, and that's all I heard, and I started watching it, and was not expecting it to just grow into this huge, massive like lore of stuff. Like they have their own governments. And
What's the
rules they have to
premise
follow.
of the show?
So you know, like Johnny Quest and stuff.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
old venture shows. It's that. It's like a parody of that. And it's like, what if a Johnny Quest like character grew up, became middle aged, and just had kids. Like his two kids that
That's
are
hilarious.
just straight retarded.
So dumb.
And it's like I'm like I could spoil stuff that characters go through like arcs. Like there's a henchman for the main bad guy who something really fucked up happens to him, and he starts out as this fat nerd that just fucks up all the time and just cowers in fear that the main
He's a
character's
fatty.
their main character security guard is gonna murder him. And then like something happens to him, he just becomes like the super ripped Jack. He becomes a main character, and he's just out there for revenge.
That's
That's
legendary.
badass,
And
dude.
it's a comedy too.
What was it called?
Venture Bros.
It's really fun.
It's Adult Swim, right?
Yeah, that's
It's an
Adult Swim.
show.
Another Adult Swim show we just watched today on a whim. That Birdman.
Harvey
Harvey
Birdman.
Birdman.
Dude, that was way funnier than I thought it would
cool.
be.
The fact that they have I didn't know that they had the Warner Brothers, right?
So-
that is so funny.
So explain it.
The thing is, it's this character no one really remembers, Birdman. I think it was an actual show.
It was. Same with Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah, and he's like a lawyer now, and he's a lawyer for any Warner Brothers licensed cartoon. And it's like basically you get like Shaggy and Scooby. He represents Shaggy and Scooby in court. He represents
Smoking
Johnny
weed.
Quest,
Yogi Bear.
Yogi Bear, the
No,
Unibear or whatever.
No, the Uniboo
The Shaggy episode was the best.
There's like it's so funny because they integrate such great. It's
Well,
like the Shaggy episode. They're just driving, and you know how they always laugh, and it's kind of like they're high in the show, but and then they get and then
I
they,
wouldn't know.
Never touch the stuff.
Poison.
And then a cop pulls him over, and he thinks they're high, and so they need a representation in court. And there's just the other lawyer's a thespian, so he does a play of like how it goes, and it's funny. And then he shows a
just
video,
cuts to live action.
and it cuts to live action of like a cop talking to them and stuff. And then it's a video of like all the Mr. Gang in just dumb poses where they look like their eyes are like just barely open and there's smoke everywhere. And then there's one where it's just Shaggy going, Scoob, I just realized it. Scooby Dooby.
No, and it's the interesting thing and why it was one of the first original Adult Swim cartoons because it was really cheap to make because they had the license.
They're just cutting. Literally, there's scenes where they just keep cutting to the same 3-4 second clip of like it's an eagle, a raptor, just pressing a typewriter. They just keep using the same clip for like a minute straight of just dook, dook, dook.
It's so because it's they had the old cells that they would animate on for the original cartoons that they have, and they would just cut characters out of it and then just use that.
There was great. The one like with Apache.
The cheap
Apache is so funny, and it's just the whole show is just so ridiculously just
over the top,
funny and just great innuendo and jokes and stuff.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if no one's got anything else,
yeah, I'm animate out.
Do we have an email, Paul?
Oh yeah, I think we do. We got a couple actually that came in this week.
Ooh.
It's hold on, give me 1 second. Don't disconnect, please.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First little little guest fan mail. All right, here we go. Hey there, fuckface.
Wow, fuck you too.
Hold up.
Douche.
All right.
you.
Hey there, fuckface. This is Papa Jay's 6-year-old niece. I had a couple of questions. First, if someone you loved was killed in front of you... Okay, hold on. Let me finish. If someone you loved was killed in front of you, but someone created a copy of them that was perfect right down to the atomic level, would they be the same person, and would you love them just as much?
Holy shit!
Right.
Does this person have all the same memories?
Yeah, that was my question.
Recently killed.
I would say yes.
Let's say yes.
No, atomic level implies it.
Yeah,
It's
I'd say
okay
yes.
to kill
So
a
if
clone of
someone
Hitler.
was okay. Let's just do a repeat read. Or one more read through
Yeah.
here.
Try not to laugh.
Need to wrap my head around this one.
If someone you loved was killed in front of you, but someone created a copy of them that was perfect right down to the atomic level, would they be the same person, and would you love them just as much?
Okay. Omar, you start it, I guess.
Me?
Yeah. What's your
First-
thoughts on Papa J's?
One, it's
His niece.
not possible,
Niece.
but I'm assuming hypothetical situation. Is
Hypothetical.
Obviously.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
not possible.
hypothetical, you dumb butt.
I don't think based on my philosophy of the world, I don't think they would be the same person. So
No.
no, but I would appreciate them because they would have the same memories, I guess.
That's a
how about
different-
this? I would be open to growing to love them as much.
Counterpoint. You're a Star Trek fan. Every time a character teleports in Star Trek, they die and are recreated
Yeah,
as a new person who's the exact same.
yeah.
How's it any different than that?
How's it any
With all the
different?
same memories.
Because-
Suspension of
because-
disbelief.
Well, you also saw them murdered in front of you.
People watch people teleport in Star Trek all the time.
You don't see someone get
but
stabbed
it's
in
not
the
like-
heart, and then next second you see them
I
there.
suppose no one. I mean, it could just be they've accepted this. I'm just saying my moral philosophy might make it harder for me, but I could be grown to love them more, and I would be open to it. I would just see.
Well,
yeah.
Andrew, you go.
Okay. Well, I think if they're the same person, same memories, I would love them I don't know if the same would be the right word, but
Equally
I would-
as hard.
yeah, I would hurt in my heart to see them die in front of me.
Yeah, that would be a real
that,
kicker.
that would hurt me.
That'd be a
And-
roller coaster.
And then if I just saw someone murdered in front of me, and then the next second they walk through the door, and they're trying to tell me they're the same person, I don't know if I could.
reconcile.
I couldn't just think of them as the same person. I would probably love them if they were someone I had loved previously. So that's a hard one. So kind of is
I
my
don't
answer.
think it's
kind of.
ever something that'll apply though.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Fuck you.
I have
You're
a
Neil, dude.
good take on this one. So, here's the thing. You make a clone of someone I love after I see them die. They're not the same person. They are, but they aren't. They're a clone. They're not them. And once you start making clones, you start getting all weird. Fuck the clones. I don't want to see a single goddamn clone in my world. I would kill them by my own hands.
Brutal.
Yeah, that's a good point, if I'm being frank.
If I see them die, they are dead to me. I don't want a
You-
mortal reminder of them.
Yeah, you know they're a fucking clone. You know
They're not the same.
All right, Uncle Demon.
Let's see. I mean, yeah, kind of like Coley. I wouldn't go as far as like, killing it, but I'd be like,
Pussy.
I'd be like,
Get real, bitch.
I don't know. I can't love you. I've seen you die. I don't want to be reminded.
Yeah.
Impossible.
That's
It's kind of makes you think like, are they trying to make fun of me recreating this person I love?
Oh.
Yeah, it could be a sadistic.
No.
I would give it a shot. I try to love him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wouldn't-
that's
I
for
guess.
yeah. For me, it's more of I would almost see it as a different person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could agree with that
It'd
one.
be really hard
That's
for
why you
me
kill
to
'em.
come to terms to just be like, you are Mary Patrice. You are her. I love you still. You know, that'd be hard for me.
Wait, does the clone have memories of its own death?
Yeah.
We were sitting
We're gonna have
Then
memories
that
of
becomes
two
this
deaths after they meet
psychological
me.
thing. What
That-
if the clone goes insane?
Yeah,
over
that's
the
what I
thought
was
of its own
saying.
death
That
going
would
back
fuck
and
up
back.
someone's psyche if they
Yeah. I'd
say
knew
no.
that they were dead and a clone.
I'd say no.
Oh shit.
The person cloning them would anticipate
Well, he
this. If
didn't-
they're smart enough to clone someone, they would anticipate
The
that
question
and take it out.
doesn't specify like the time at which they're cloned. Like
Yeah.
at what point in their life they're cloned. So it could be just an embryo.
My infant mother.
Maybe they're cloned with a hole in their chest from a knife wound, and then they just die a few seconds later.
Oh, how
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, whatever. We're getting
Papa
too deep.
J's got a moral compass going bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, let's
All right, so second, what is one hard truth you prefer to ignore, but you know is wrong to ignore?
Holy shit!
Wow.
These
We're
deep,
getting really
hard-hitting
deep, yeah.
questions, J
Alright.
Dog.
I think I got one pretty
All right,
quick.
hit us.
Okay.
Nicotine is bad for you, or at least cigarettes and stuff like that is bad for you. I know this.
Nicotine is too, though.
Yeah, I know this. Yet I in my mind, I like to think I don't ignore it, but I really do.
Yeah.
And it,
When you're addicted, it's another beast, though.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. For me, at least, I think it's like shitty fucking foods for you. You know, I definitely know chugging a soda is awful for me. It's, you know, body does not do well with that type of shit, but I chug a soda every once in a while, you know.
Mm-hmm.
For
and,
me-
and that goes for
oh.
like all fucking shitty foods. A deep fried Twinkie, deep fried
Deep fried
Oreo.
doink.
I'll indulge every once in a while.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely when I pee in a household with women and I know to put the seat down. I ignore that law.
Mm-hmm.
And then the women always get mad at you, and it's like, I'm at my girlfriend's house, and she's like, why didn't you put the seat down? I fell in. I'm like, don't you check the seat
Yeah,
when you
dude.
sit down?
That's something I never can understand. As
Yeah,
a
it's like-
male, it just doesn't hit home the same
Like,
way.
whenever I shit, I make sure the seat is down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys have it
take-
both
it-
ways, so we should be the ones complaining.
Fuck you. Put the seat up. You
I'm
dick.
gonna piss on the seat, bitch.
That is another rule I sometimes ignore because I think it's hilarious when people sit in my piss.
For me, it's eating out. I eat out way too much, even though I know
Is
it's
that like
way
money?
too expensive.
Yeah, money wise, yeah. That's
It's
fair.
just so convenient not having to make food.
And
over
it tastes
someone's
so
place.
good.
It really
Yeah.
does. It really
That's
General
debatable.
Tso's chicken sushi.
That's fair. It's a fucking price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's probably sitting on my computer for fucking 6 hours till 4 a.m. when I have class. Gotta wake up at 7.
No, you do that?
Watching anime all night because I'm a fucking degenerate weeaboo. That's what it is.
That's fair.
At
We've
least
all
you
been
recognize it.
We've been there,
Yeah.
brother.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Me. So is the question like stuff that I shouldn't?
that you know is bad
Well,
for you,
yeah,
but
you
you do
know
it
it's
anyways
bad.
and choose to ignore the fact that it's bad for you.
Yep. That's about it.
Smoking, because
I don't. Yeah, someone with asthma can smoke.
Danny loves smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have said most of the stuff that I do. I'm not that interesting of a person.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
fucking loser.
Sorry.
Neck beer alert.
We're moving on. Here we go. This is another email we
We have a
got.
third email?
This is the second one. The,
Oh wait, that first one was both Papa J's niece's
yeah,
questions.
Papa J's
Papa
niece
Nate
was hitting
popping off.
home with some good shit.
Yeah.
Some
Philosophical.
Thank you.
Melissa Fickle.
Yeah,
All
there it
right,
is.
here we go. Here we go. Hey there, beautiful boys. Long time
you.
listener, first time emailer. My question is, if you had the resources to take over the country, how would you do it? Love, Motorboat.
Okay. Thank you, Motorboat. I got the perfect answer right here.
Okay,
If I have unlimited resources, everything, right?
you have the resources, so
The
it's up to
resources.
you what resources
Okay.
you have.
Well, I'm gonna need all of them. Here's what I do.
I'm gonna need all.
I start small. I
Okay.
take over the local level, right? I take over the city of Dayton, okay? Once Dayton is under my control, I start making military, pumping out the military. It's a dictatorship. It's hell living here. And then I take over the state. Once I have the state, it's the tri-state area. And it's shitty conditions. Keeps going up and up until
Doofenshmirtz.
yeah, exactly. Until I have take over the country with my military. And the military, the secret to them is they use the sewers so they can't be bombed by drones. And then once I have control
So
of Washington, my shitty living conditions will be reversed and it'll be better than how Trump is treating us. Even though I'm not going to say if he's treating us good or not, it'll just be better.
All right. Fair enough.
Apolitical.
And then I take over the world.
Mine is a little less militaristic. I start off small. I create a podcast on the internet. This is totally hypothetical,
Such
guys.
a foreign
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
So I would create something like a podcast or something, get a nice following, start brainwashing my followers. They all love me, think I'm a god. And then once I have a big following of cultists behind me, I start expanding into other things. Radio, TV shows, everything. I brainwash the entire population of the United States of
Jesus.
America.
That's
And
so fucked up.
I peacefully become the dictator of the United States of America. 100% control. Totally
Dude,
change it from a
that's-
democracy
That's
to a dictatorship.
Fuck you, you're ruining our country.
I got it.
You're the
It's
fuck
for-
you sticking it.
Yeah, but then living conditions get better.
Hey, I never said my living conditions would be bad. I just said I would be a
Dictatorship,
dictator.
it just means it's bad instantly.
would've-
Fuck you.
You would have made yours.
Yeah,
a
you said
dictatorship.
No, it was a dictatorship until I become the
Oh
president.
yeah, fuck you.
All right, here we go. Here we go. So I infest the government. I have infinite resources, so I make this little worm. It's a worm organism.
So a literal worm?
Yeah, a little worm organism
Yeah.
that makes its way. It's mind controlled by me, Rick and Morty style, bitch.
Oh.
So I'm moving these little worms and they start moving into the government. Bam, bam, bam. Getting that food, getting that steak, getting that chicken pot pie, getting that apple pie. Bam, bam, bam. Joe Biden shoveling that shit down. Donald Trump shoveling that shit down.
Ben Shapiro too.
Ben Shapiro shoveling that shit down. Ben Shapiro, though, on that matter, I take control of his brain, bitch. I start amping me up, getting the crowd hyped. Everyone else I kill. That kills them, just fucking murders them, poisons them, does whatever. They're dead, except for Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's like, man, this guy's cool. This guy's cool. Rise up. People are getting behind me. I got an army. Like, if you ever seen the video, I can ride my back with no handlebars, no handlebars.
Yeah.
It's the people, and I'm the guy with the mic, and then the crowd's behind me. They're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. The people are starting to rise up. They're getting pissed, and I'm their almighty leader. They're getting behind me, lifting me up. They got one of those little Egyptian things that I'm riding around in the car. People are going, yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm moving up, storm that White House. I got my people, yeah, 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 yeah. And then we stormed that White House. They put me on, they set my little car down. Yeah, 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 yeah. They got me in the White House, and then I'm there. That's all I need to do. Little
Just
worm
get in the
organisms.
White House.
And I got my people behind me. They're going, yeah, yeah. I keep this democracy in place. Except for I pulled the Putin eventually. Where I'm like, going, yeah, it can be. I can be this person forever, people, and then everyone's still like, yeah, 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 yeah. Bam, country's mine. Ta, 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 ta. Paul Town, welcome to it.
And the whole time you got your
listener now.
Yeah.
NSA.
Oh, perfect.
I got one.
Yeah,
NSA.
yeah, yeah.
Says it on it.
And since I have infinite
If
resources,
you steal my answer, I'm gonna be butthurt.
I'll research a way to digitize my brain. And I'll fucking make a digital brain of myself. I can, like, go between my real self and my digital brain. And I can control, like, electronics with it and shit. And I just send it through the power lines.
Oh my god, dude.
And just
Hit
take
everyone
over-
at once.
Take over everything, dude, and do a DDoS the U.S.
Digital override.
I'll call it Operation Digital Black.
Next plan.
Jesus.
Since I have infinite resources,
Yeah.
I grab the microphone, I go on stage. This planet's fucked. Come with me to Mars. Anyone who wants to can come on.
Hell
And
yeah.
my new super state, colony of Mars, whole planet,
Nicholas Town.
Mars. Declare war on Earth. Conquer it all, baby.
We're coming back. Mars sucks ass.
I have infinite resources. Just go to waste some of this shithole.
Danny?
I'd buy a tank and just.
One tank.
With your infinite
And
resources,
then
one
nobody's
tank.
gonna fuck with the dude with the tank.
Dude,
They're
wait.
just like,
That's fair. I know 0 people with tanks.
Wait, yeah.
What fun
Like,
would you had a tank?
yeah. I just drive up and say like, "Here's the deal, dog."
My name's Denzel.
I get the mic. I put it upside down because I'm cool.
Yeah, real
Do you
cool.
drop it?
After.
Hold on.
Okay.
I say,
My bad. I'm
"Hey,
wrong.
Mr. President," and he's all like, "What?" And I'm like, "Fuck you." And I drop the mic, and then everyone agrees.
Wait, I got constructive criticism for you. Instead of using a tank, use a Metal Gear.
No,
I was literally about to say that.
Use a fucking Metal Gear.
weapons platform capable of launching an attack
Yeah, I'll threaten-
any terrain.
A new I need a weapons unit.
I'll threaten to nuke America, but I won't because I live there. I won't actually do it,
Well, don't tell him that now.
The Metal Gear.
or will I?
Oh, never mind.
Oh shit.
You don't know. I'm a wild card.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more?
No, that's it.
No.
That's it for
All
tonight,
right.
boys. Remember to email your questions. Give us a little shout out. You know, they can be, what's that one word?
Philosophical.
Filibuster?
You can be, it can be
Philanthropy.
humorous. Anything you want, just email
Phil
that into
Harmonic.
Hobbyist
Phyllis
Podcast.
Seymour Hoffman.
I'm doing a plug, damn it.
Philanthropy.
Fill me up, please.
Phallic.
Shut the fuck up.
HobbyistPodcast at
What you talking about,
gmail.com.
Mr. Phyllis?
Okay.
This shit's ending. HobbyistPodcast gmail.com.
Bye.
Find us at Castbox and YouTube, baby. Good
See ya.
night, people.
Good night.